It was just past midnight in a quiet suburb outside Portland, Oregon. The streets were empty, the kind of silence that presses against your ears. Inside a small house at the end of the Maple Street, Daniel Harper sat alone, scrolling through his phone, half asleep. Then came the knock, not loud, not urgent, just deliberate. Three slow steps against the front door. Daniel frowned. Nobody visited this late. He checked the time, 12:17 a.m. For a moment, he thought maybe he imagined it. Then it came again, three taps, this time louder. A strange unease crept up his spine. He stood, hesitating for a second before walking towards the door. The porch light was off. The street light outside flickered faintly. "Who is it?" he called out. No answer, just silence. He moved closer, peeking through the peephole. Two figures stood on his porch. Children. A boy and a girl, maybe around 10 or 11 years old. They stood unnaturally still, heads slightly lowered, their faces hidden in shadow. Daniel opened the door just a few inches, keeping the chain latch on. "Hey, are you kids okay? Do you need help?" The boy slowly lifted his head. That's when Daniel felt it. A sudden crushing dread, the kind that doesn't make sense but demands to be obeyed. "Sir," the boy said, his voice flat, almost rehearsed, "may we come in? We need to use your phone." Something about his tone felt wrong. Too calm, too controlled. Daniel tightened his grip on the door. "Where are your parents?" he asked. The girl spoke this time. "They will be here soon. Please, just let us in." Her voice was softer but empty. No fear, no emotion. Daniel's instincts screamed at him to shut the door. Every part of him felt like something was off. "Sorry," he said, forcing a polite tone. "I will call someone for you instead." The boy stepped forward slightly, and for the first time, the porch light flickered on. Daniel froze. The children's eyes, they were completely black. No whites, no pupils, just endless darkness. His breath caught in his throat. "Sir," the boy repeated a little firmer this time, "we cannot come in unless you invite us." A chill ran through Daniel's entire body. He didn't respond. He couldn't. The girl tilted her head slightly, staring straight at him with those hollow eyes. "You are making this harder than it needs to be." That was enough. Daniel slammed the door shut and locked it. Immediately, he stepped back, heart pounding, trying to process what he had just seen. His hands trembled as he reached for his phone. Then another knock, louder this time, more aggressive, not three taps anymore. Now it was constant, relentless. The door rattled slightly with each hit. Let us in. Both voices said together, not loud, but wrong. Like they weren't coming from outside anymore. Daniel stumbled backward, his chest tightening. He didn't dare look through the peephole again. The knocking stopped, just like that. Silence filled the house once more. For a few seconds, nothing moved. Then, a soft tapping sound came from the back of the house. Daniel's blood turned cold. The back door slowly, carefully. He turned his head toward the hallway leading to the kitchen. Tap, tap, tap. They moved, he whispered to himself, but that didn't make sense. There was no way they could have gotten to backyard that fast, unless they were never just outside. Daniel grabbed a kitchen knife from the counter, his breathing uneven. Every instinct told him not to open the door, but the tapping continued, calm, patient, waiting. He forced him to step closer, each step heavier than the last. The tapping stopped again, right as he reached the door. A small voice spoke from the other side. We are cold. It was the girl. Softer now. Almost human. Daniel's grip on the knife tightened. Go away, he said, his voice barely steady. Silence. Then the boy again. You already know we want. A long pause followed, and then complete silence. No footsteps, no movement, nothing. Minutes passed. Daniel didn't move. Daniel breathed, didn't blink. Finally, gathering what little courage he had left, he rushed to the back window and pulled the curtain aside. Nothing. The yard was empty. No children, no footprints, just darkness. The next morning, Daniel reported the incident to the local police. They found nothing unusual, no signs of forced entry, no footprints, no neighbors who saw anything. Just another unexplainable report. But Daniel wasn't the only one. Across the United States, similar stories have surfaced for decades. Late night knocks, children asking to be let in, and always the small detail, black eyes. Witnesses often describe the same overwhelming fear, a deep, instinctive warning not to open the door. Some claim those who did never spoke about it again. Others reported strange illnesses, unexplained bad luck, even disappearances No official explanation has ever been confirmed. Some believe they are demons, others say they are something far older, not human, not alive. But one thing remains consistent in every story: they cannot enter unless you invite them. To this day, reports continue to appear online, forums, police logs, anonymous confessions. Different cities, different people, same encounter, and always the knocks. Three slow taps. If you ever hear it late at night and you find children standing at your door, don't open it. Don't speak to them, and whatever you do, don't let them in.